Hello, I'm Richard Crabb, and I'm going to talk to you about the advantages of having a site-based phone system. I think you will see very clearly that there are big advantages of going for site-based as compared to hosted. The biggest number one advantage is resilience. By having a site-based phone system, you don't need to be tied to just one provider. You can have two or more, and you can also use that as a way of gaining resilience. So you can even have three providers if you need that, or if you want to save money by linking to some other destination, you can have a circuit for that as well. And that will also provide resilience at the same time. By having more than one provider connected, you eliminate the most likely cause of failure. With IP phone systems, by far the biggest cause of downtime is the failure of broadband circuits that are used to connect voice over IP. So if you've got either two of those going to separate providers, or one which is voice over IP and say the other one is ISDN, then the chances of both of them failing at the same time, especially with different technologies, is very low. Now, if it isn't enough to have resilience to the outside world, you can also duplicate or triplicate the system itself. So there's no end in terms of how much resilience you can provide. The sensible option, though, really, in our experience, is to have one system with two providers. That tends to give a pretty good balance. As you can see in that picture, your office is independent of your main provider. So if the provider 1 goes down, you've still got provider 2. And you should be able to receive inbound calls and make outbound calls, and most likely people won't even notice that anything has changed. Our systems are always designed for you in mind. So rather than just taking a standard template and then deploying it to you, what we do is we go through all the various options that you need to take care of and then make sure they're addressed. And that way it's tailored to fit your business needs. And in terms of looking after it, it's going to be easy for you to maintain as well, such as moving extensions or changing features. Some people might think that by using hosted, it takes all the issues and worries away and you can just leave it all down to them. But is that really the reality? It's not, because for one thing, they can only provide a limited set of features. It's just not possible to provide all the features on the system because it has to be a one-size-fits-all type solution. So invariably it has to be a compromise. And these hosted systems are quite big, but they do have to have limited features. For instance, the numbers of different types of IP phones that they support. And what about maintenance? What if things go wrong? It might be because of the phones at your site. You may have reliability issues between your phones on your LAN and the hosted service through the router because it uses something called network address translation, and if that's not working properly, you'll have problems. It could be a configuration problem. So actually, it's a fallacy to think by having it in the cloud, it really is the best way. By owning the system, you've got control of the features, ultimately, and you've got access to more features, and you can change it in whatever way you want. Limitations are few, they're only technical limitations, but if the system is capable of doing it, then it can be done. Also, we can access the system remotely to maintain it. We fix most of the problems that way, if there are any. It tends to be reliable once it's configured and it works the way the customer needs. There's not very often any need to remotely access the system. Also, we can do changes for you. So if you don't want to do the changes, we can. So by having your own phone system, you've got control and you've got reliability. You don't have the technical issues in terms of connecting to a remote system somewhere with only one link. Better quality, typically because we use dedicated circuits to the main provider. And that gives voice quality as good as or better than ISDN by using dedicated links. Now with IP now, there is a G722 standard which actually provides better definition than ISDN. But of course that's only useful if your links are good as or better than ISDN. The hardware that we use and we provide for you is excellent and it's really reliable. All solid state, or if it's not all solid state, then the disk drives are redundant. So it's a very reliable system, and as mentioned before, that can be duplicated or triplicated. Our system is lower cost than a hosted system, because with hosted, ongoing is quite expensive. For each extension phone you have, you need to pay a rental. So over time, that gets quite expensive. Okay, with ours, you've got the capital cost, but that can be spread with a really good loan scheme that we've got access to. And that means your costs are going to come out lower and better than a hosted provider. It's going to be cheaper to run than an existing ISDN-based phone system, even taking into account the renewal and the capital costs. Typically that is true. So you're going to save money right from the time the new system goes in without having to lay out massive deposits and so on. Your moves and changes can be done internally. There's a web browser which just allows a point and a click, and you can change features on extensions, make alterations as you need. It's flexible. The whole system is designed to be flexible so that you can make change as the business evolves. So that deals with business changes as time goes by. So acquire another office somewhere, then that can be connected. And then you can have free calls between your existing office and the new one. Similarly, if you take over an office that's already got a phone system, the chances are, because of the flexibility, it can be connected. If you're adding new phones, it won't increase the monthly costs. Because you've already paid for the system, you've just got to buy new phones, not monthly costs. And these systems can connect to existing ISDN or separate new IP phone systems. So it offers a lot of flexibility. So finally, there is no compromise. It's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? In that it's a lower cost, it's more reliable, it's more resilient, it's more flexible. So to find out more, contact us now on our contact page or give us a call on 01 935 200 210. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye bye.